Hello everyone, we'll start the session within few minutes. Thank you for your patience, dear parents and children. We'll start the session within few minutes.
Hari Om.
Sir.
Hari Om, how are you?
Hari Om, sir. Yeah, I'm fine. Hope you are fine.
Yeah, very much, very much.
Okay. Yeah. So students are joining. We'll start the session within few minutes, sir.
Yes.
And hello everyone. Happy evening. Hope everybody is fine and with safe health. Here we have with us Dr. RadhaKrishnan Pillai, fondly known as Chanakya Pillai, the best-selling author of Corporate Chanakya. And we'll start the session right now. So a well-known management speaker, a teacher to his student, an author to his readers, a management trainer, consultant, and guide to his clients. He has written prolifically for various publications. He has been awarded Sardar Patel Award, International Award on 2009 for his research and contribution in the field of management and industrial development. He is currently the founder director of Chanakya Institute Public Leadership, Mumbai University. Hello, sir. Happy to have you here first on the live session of Reflection series. And we know that you have written 17 books, over 17 books, and Corporate Chanakya and the Chanakya in You or the About Top Sellers. And for children's Chatur Chanakya and Chanakya in Classroom. Actually, we are using the supplementary Chanakya in the classroom as a supplementary reader for class 9th and 10th. So we are waiting for your words on Reflection series on the topic, how to think like Chatur Chanakya. So now I hand over the session to Dr. Chanakya, sir. You can take over the session now, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. A warm good evening. And this is Dr. RadhaKrishnan Pillai here. But I think more than a teacher, today I want to address all of you as readers, and I will be talking as an author. Okay, my dear friends. So let us look at it this way, that today we are not going to be talking about how to study. Of course, that will be covered. But the reality is that we are going to talk about a book which I'm sure everybody in the school is aware of. Chatur Chanakya. You remember this? I'm sure many of you must have read it also. If you have not read it, make sure that you get a copy and read it. Am I audible to everyone, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your voice is clear and it is on live.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought, let me just check. So friends, thank you so much. So today's topic is very interesting, how to think like Chatur Chanakya. So, when I wrote this first book, Chatur Chanakya, I also had to think like Chatur Chanakya. So now I'm going to share the secrets with you, how to think like Chatur Chanakya. But before we go into that, I want to tell you a little bit of a story about Chatur Chanakya. I'm not talking about the story in the book, which we will try and cover up, but I want to tell you about how Chatur Chanakya happened. Ready? It's a real story. My publishers, and their name is Puffin Books. They are a part of the world's largest publishing company who bring out lots of books. Their name is Penguin Random Book House. So once I had been to their office in Delhi, and their parent head office is in London. So I had a chance to go there also. So when I was in their head office in Delhi, one friend came and told me and saying that, you have written a lot of books on Chanakya for elders, Corporate Chanakya, this book, that book, how to think like Chanakya and all those things. But, do you have an idea that you can actually write a book for children? I said, children. Then he said, if you have 5 minutes, let us do some brainstorming. So the brain went through some storms. So we went into a small room and 4-5 was discussed. And that's how Chatur Chanakya was born. He was not born physically, he was first born in the mind. We discussed and we said we should have a character who will be very intelligent, who will be very, very childlike, but he will not be childish. There's a difference in being childlike and being childish. So when I came back, I said, okay, I came to Mumbai. So I'm from Mumbai, right? And I said, okay, let us develop this character called Chatur Chanakya. and we wanted to think like Chanakya. And you know what I did? I spoke to so many school teachers, principals, and even so many friends of mine who are in the teaching community. So the teachers, I even spoke to parents, and most important, I spoke to children and the friends of children. And I asked all of them, what do you want me to write for children? A lot of people give a lot of ideas. Okay. And I said, oh my goodness, too many ideas of how Chatur Chanakya should be. But then I said, let us keep it very simple. I think I should think like Chatur Chanakya. I should think like Chatur Chanakya. So then I started to become a child again. I started thinking like a child. And I started visualizing if I were in school. Actually, I was in school when I was young, like all of you. But if I were going to back to school, what would be the challenges? And you know what? In my own mind, I started visualizing the school where I went. And that name of that school is Vani Vidyalaya. How all of you have Pushpalata school? So whenever you become big, whenever you think about school, the image in your mind will be about your school. So I also started thinking like a child. And a child who is in school, how will he think? And that's how I started thinking like Chatur Chanakya. Already I had learned Chanakya, but I realized, no, I can't think like a big person because then I will not be able to connect to children. So children are always worried. What will be the teachers say? What will be the parents say? Yes, yes, the teachers and parents, whatever they say, we have to listen, we have to respect them and follow them. But unfortunately, I started thinking, no, not like a teacher, not like a parent. Let me start thinking like Chanakya, the little boy called Chanakya. And then over a period of a time, the whole plot came in, the story came in, and the book came out. So that is how I never thought like a big boy or a big man. I started thinking like your age group. If I were in first standard, if I were in fifth standard, eighth standard, ninth standard, 10th standard, how will I think? And I'm so glad that Pushpalata ma'am told me, why don't we make this particular event today and discuss how would Chatur Chanakya think? So friends, I'm going to give you 5 points how to think like Chatur Chanakya. Yes, so I will be now telling you the story of the book. If you remember or not, I'm going to repeat the story so that you can recollect. You can refresh the story. But after that, we are going to actually have 5 points. And if you practice this 5 points, you will also think like Chatur Chanakya. You will also think like Chatur Chanakya. And I want to tell you something very interesting. We're also going to make a movie on Chatur Chanakya. Yes, very soon you'll have film on Chanakya, the little boy Chatur Chanakya who becomes a superhero for everyone in the school. Okay. So before I tell these 5 points, how to think like Chatur Chanakya, let me tell you the story. Remember the story? Yes. Let us look at the cover page once again. So Chatur Chanakya is there. This is the boy, as you know, but he's got many friends. But the first friend is his own sister. Her name is Lakshmi. Yes, her name is Lakshmi. So, no, sorry. Chatur Chanakya is a boy, but the real character is Arjun. Arjun's sister is Lakshmi. Yes. So Arjun and Lakshmi both are going to the same school. And then in the school, they meet Chatur Chanakya. Yes, that's the boy. And if you look at it, there are other friends also. So one is Datta and his brother Aditya. And Lakshmi actually has a friend called Millie. So all these gang, Chatur Chanakya, Arjun, Lakshmi, Millie, Datta and Aditya, 6 of them in the book are called as the famous 6. And where do they stay? They stay in Ganesh Colony. You remember they're all friends. They also play together in the evening, apart from going to school. But the book is about also somebody called Himalaya. You saw this Himalaya? Yes. Himalaya is the bully. And the whole story, all of you must have remembered, you may remember, is about how they defeat the bully called Himalaya. So friends, when I went through the whole book again and again, and today also once again I'm going through the book, I was saying that, okay, if you look at the story and the way the whole plot is built, how should I now once again recollect How to think like Chatur Chanakya. Okay. Now, interestingly, I'm going to tell you these 5 points. But I have to tell you one more thing. In this lockdown season, when no schools are happening, everybody is working from home or staying home or even learning from home, one thing that happened with me is that I wrote Chatur Chanakya part 2. Yes, so this is the first part, remember? And very soon we have the second book coming out. So once your school also opens out, you'll have Chatur Chanakya part 2 coming. And you know what is the tentative title? So it is not a finalized title, but I can tell you the secret now only. It is called Chatur Chanakya and Return of the Bully. Yes, so the part 2 is that the Himalaya, the bully is gone in part 1. But you know what? Somebody else comes in. There is a suspense. I'll not tell you the suspense right now. But let us leave that for some other time about what happens in Chatur Chanakya part 2. That is something very different because life is always continuous, right? So from first standard, you go to second standard, from second standard, third standard. So you have to keep evolving. In the same way, every year when you get promoted, you have to think differently. So my dear friends, now I'm going to tell you the 5 things. If you practice, then you will also think like Chatur Chanakya. Ready? Yes. So let me first explain to you the 2 words, Chatur and Chanakya. Yeah. So Chatur means intelligent, smart. Yes. Do you want to be a smart boy or a girl, or you want to be known as a dumb boy or a girl? You want to be smart, right? You want to be intelligent. So that is called as Chatur. Somebody who is very sharp, intelligent. Okay. And second is Chanakya. Remember the story of Chanakya, right? When I came to your school, the whole school was so decked up with Chatur Chanakya images, the teachers, the students, the drawing teachers, everybody had done so much beautiful work on Chanakya. I still remember the beautiful posters that were put, the images that were cut. So it was actually also the story of the Chanakya, who was a great teacher. Okay. And he lived in the 4th century BC. He had defeated Alexander. And he became a teacher himself. And what was he teaching? Rajaniti. So such a great teacher, his name is given to this little boy, and that is Chanakya. So remember, Chatur Chanakya is a young boy, but has got the name of the great Acharya Chanakya. So this is Chatur Chanakya. Now, I'll start with the 5 points. How to think like Chatur Chanakya. Ready? So if you want to take notes, also take notes. If you want to record it, also you can record. But remember these 5 points throughout your life, whether it is in school or at home or anywhere. Okay? The first thing. And remember, all of you must know this first rule very clearly. And the first rule is, if you want to think like Chatur Chanakya, it is be happy always. Be happy always. Now you would be surprised, what kind of a thinking is this? You know, friends, there are a lot of problems that everybody has. The more you grow up, more the problems. But remember, we always need to be happy and smiling. Swami Chinmayananji, all of you know about Chinmaya Mission. We have so many teachers and acharyas come and teach us in our school. Swami Chinmayananji used to tell all children, give me one promise. What is that? Keep smiling. Yes, keep smiling. So if you want to think like Chatur Chanakya, please understand this. You should always be happy. But what is the meaning of being happy? A lot of people think being happy means always laughing. Please understand, laughing is an expression of happiness. But just because you're laughing doesn't make you happy. So you have to be always happy. And of course, when required, you should laugh also. So let me tell you, in life or when you're in school, you should understand there are a lot of challenges that will come. Okay, but Chatur Chanakya will always be happy. So remember the chapter in the book where when the little Chatur Chanakya, the thin boy, he's not very, very physically fit. He enters the school. And for the first time, he's going to a school. And then what happens? He is troubled by everybody because he's got a choti. So everybody starts to trouble him. Everybody laughs at him. And it is very natural. When somebody laughs at you, you like it, no? Nobody likes it when somebody is laughing at you. But Chatur Chanakya, after the initial moment, started feeling, okay, so what if they're laughing at me? It is fine. I'll still be happy. He starts thinking positively. So when you're happy, you think positively. And Chatur Chanakya starts thinking, if Himalaya is bullying me, I will not cry. I will not complain. I will smile, I will laugh, and then I'll find a solution. So, friends, whenever there is any particular challenge, be it at home, in school, with your friends, or anywhere, remember, you always have to be happy. There is a saying that don't do a work to become happy. First be happy and then do the work. Please understand this formula. Don't do the work and become happy. First become happy and then do the work. Same thing goes with studies. A lot of people say, once I get the marks, once I get the results, I'll be happy. But it is the other way around. Be happy and study properly. So once you are very, very happy from inside, your mind opens out and then you become a good student. But if you think you will be happy after you get the results, it is better that when you're studying itself, you should be happy, not after the results. I remember this joke. There's a 10th standard results of a school. And 10th standard is a very important year. It's a board exam year. And after the results were out, everybody was, looking at their marks, and one girl was crying, and one boy was dancing. He was happily going around and all those things. So one person was, what happened? So they went to the girl and asked him, what happened? You are showing very sad. So you did not get good marks or what? And she said, I was expecting almost 98%. Okay. What did you get? I got only 96%. And therefore, I am very unhappy. And the boy who was dancing, what happened? You got good marks? Well, I don't know about good marks. I passed. I got 35 marks. So one person who was not even expecting to pass became happy just because he has passed. And look at the other side of it. The girl who had studied very hard, she missed out just by a few marks. But still, 96 is not bad. So she was feeling sad. Now, what does it mean? Both of them were dependent on the happiness based on the result and the expectation. So, friends, in life, we will be very, very surprised. What we want, we may not get immediately. It may take some time. Sometimes you put a lot of hard effort, and many times we have this problem, that we don't get the expected marks. And you know what we do? We actually start blaming our teachers. We start blaming others. And we said, no, it is because of this person that I did not get good marks. Or because of that person, I did not do well. Remember one thing, don't do that. Whatever you get should be accepted with grace. Okay? And if you have done your best, remember one thing, you will always get the best. Sometimes you may not get the expected marks immediately, but if you keep studying, maybe in the next class, it will become better. I will tell you my own story. When I was in school, I was a good student, but I was not the best student. So I used to study, I used to get decently good marks. But after my school and colleges, I continued studying. So don't think that I stopped my studies. Even now I'm studying. So I have done very, very big education. I got a degree called PhD. You know what is the meaning of PhD? It's called Doctorate in Philosophy from the University of Mumbai. After that also, I wanted to keep studying, and now currently I'm studying law. So a lot of people ask me, why are you studying at this age? You're 45 years old. Why are you studying? I said, I don't study for marks. I'm not studying for degrees. I'm studying because I'm happy. Yes, my dear friends, I'm happy studying. And you'd be surprised when you're happily studying. I told you I was an average student, but when I got my PhD, I actually got a gold medal. That means I was a topper in all the universities put together. And you will be surprised, our governor of Maharashtra, he also gave me an award for my contribution because I wrote good thesis. It's like an exam, okay? And then there was a test, and I got a gold medal. So friends, remember this first formula in life. Don't blame anybody else for little marks that you got or not marked. Remember, you have to study very hard and do your best and leave the rest. Do your best and leave the rest. So always be happy and smiling. This is how Chatur Chanakya is. Let us go back to that story. Remember that in the story what had happened? He went to the school. He was very afraid. The little Chatur Chanakya was very afraid and everybody was bombarding. But if you start thinking negatively, the school is bad, the teachers are bad, they don't know what to do. I'm a new boy, I don't have friends. Remember one thing, when the problem came in, what did Chatur Chanakya do? He sat quietly and then he made friends with Arjun. And then he was able to solve all the problems. Remember, first thing, even if a problem comes to you, don't be unhappy. Be always happy. Yes, that is the first thing. Now we come to the second thing. Very, very important. And that is, please understand the word. Remember the word called Anvikshiki. Yes, it is very, very important to recollect the word called Anvikshiki. What is Anvikshiki? I told you in the book also, Anvikshiki is the way, the right way of thinking. Remember one thing, don't worry about your life, okay? Or don't worry about your studies, but think about your studies. And my request to all the parents is that whenever we are going to school, let us not get into comparison and too much of competition, okay? So, you know, some person will get first, some person will get second, some person may be a little bit behind, it's okay. But there is a saying that life will be better. So whenever you are having any negative thought, think properly, Anvikshiki. And that is what Chatur Chanakya does in the whole book. Remember, he teaches Anvikshiki to all his friends, Arjun, Lakshmi, Mili, Datta, Aditya. And if you know how to think correctly, nobody can actually trouble you. Nobody can trouble you. It is said that if you get troubled by the trouble, if you get troubled by the trouble, you will always be troubled. But if you know how to attack the trouble, then the trouble cannot trouble you. So remember, if you know how to attack the trouble cannot trouble you. So how do you do that? You have to think properly. To think like Chatur Chanakya, you have to understand Anvikshiki. Now, let me give you a practical example of how to apply Anvikshiki in our personal life. In the book, it is given in detail. What is Anvikshiki? Anvikshiki means the ability to investigate, go into detail, and understand what is called the root cause of the problem. We always look at the problem or a situation or a challenge at the superficial level, what we are able to see. But what is seen may not be real. It is said, all that glitters is not gold. So when the problem comes, you have to think and see, oh, where did the problem start? And what I consider as a problem, is it a problem at all? So if you think smartly and think differently, the same situation, which may look like a challenge, can actually become an advantage. Yes, my dear friends. You know, it is said in the medical field also, if you fall sick, okay, if you fall sick, and I think everybody will fall sick one day or the other, isn't it? So many times we get fever, sometimes we get cough, sometimes we have some other diseases. It's okay. But you know, if you look at something, oh, fever has come, this has come, doesn't matter. But if you think properly, if you use Anvikshiki, you investigate properly, do you know what? Falling sick actually builds your immunity. Yes. And it is always seen that, you know, once in a year, we all get some small little trouble for your body also. Sometimes we fall down and get injured. Okay. Sometimes we have a little bit of a fever. But it's okay. And sometimes you are not able to go to school or some workplace. It's okay. But once the body recovers, then you gather a strength. Then nobody can trouble you. Isn't it true? So when you fall down also, first you see the blood and you say, oh, it is like blood is coming. And the moment you see the red color, you start crying, ah, amma, amma, amma. But you know what? Nature knows that even the blood is coming. In few minutes, the blood clotting starts. And immediately nature, that wound is healed by itself. And remember one thing, even if the blood is flowing a little bit more after some time, we have something called as medicine. Okay, the nature knows all medicines come from nature only, isn't it? So we get the medicine. So if there is a problem, there is a challenge, always remember there is a solution also. So when you are having a problem, don't just look at the problem and start crying and worrying, saying, wait, let me apply Anvikshiki. Let me think, oh, where did this problem come from? Okay, what is the problem solution? Is it really a problem? When you think about it, slowly, you will find a solution for it. For example, in the book itself, Chatur Chanakya, Himalaya was a big problem, isn't it true? And Chatur Chanakya was thin, but he said, wait, let me think. What is Himalayas? Why is it troubling me? Okay, just because I'm a little boy, no problem. And maybe because I'm new to the school. So he doesn't start crying, even though initially he was a little bit upset, which is natural. He started thinking, okay, what is Himalaya? Why is it troubling me? Then he realized Himalaya troubles everyone. That has become his nature. Okay, so what should I do? I start thinking. So there are two things I can do. I can become as big as Himalaya and fight with him. But then he said, no, I'm thin. It's okay, but I'm healthy. Please understand this. Many people have this confusion that healthy means you have to be very, very fat and, having a lot of, big height body. That doesn't guarantee health. In fact, it has always happened that if you are sometimes too fat, it is called obesity. But sometimes the thin guys are swift, they're agile, and their bodies are more fitter. So Chatur Chanakya is thinking using Anvikshiki. So what if I'm thin? But I got something which is here, my brain. Let me think. So here is Mr. Himalaya. You're fatter than me, bigger than me, no problem. Then he looks at Arjun. Arjun is also bulky. So I don't want to become strong and become healthy. It is going to take a long time. What I'm going to do is that use my benchmate, my partner, that is Arjun. And he says, okay, if I make Arjun my friend, Arjun will defeat Himalaya. Isn't it true? So that is called intelligent thinking, Anvikshiki. So whenever trouble troubles you, don't get troubled by the trouble. Whenever trouble troubles you, don't get troubled by the trouble. Because if you know how to manage the trouble will never come to you. So then he thinks, uses Anvikshiki, and slowly with the help of Arjun, he defeats Himalaya. And then he uses his head and he says, okay, along with Arjun, he also takes the help of Lakshmi, the class monitor. And if you remember, the principal also comes. The principal also comes. And finally, the little Chatur Chanakya, the thin boy, can defeat a bigger problem. So my dear friends, the second lesson that we learn about how to think like Chatur Chanakya is that whatever situation may come, good or bad or a big problem, think through it. And I always say this, never fight a battle alone. Take some friends along. Yes, my dear friends. So Chatur Chanakya took the help of Arjun. He took the help of Lakshmi. He also took the help of teachers. Yes. Whenever a lot of problems are happening, if you don't know what to do, please speak to your teachers. They are there to help you. Please talk to your parents. Please talk to your friends. Never ever get into depression. Never be lonely. Okay, remember, there's two things. One is being alone and being lonely. You need to sit alone when you're studying, concentration. You should be focused. That is being alone. You should enjoy being with yourself. But remember, never ever try to be lonely. And if you have a trouble, please speak to somebody. This is the second one, Anvikshiki. Now I come to the third point, how to think like Chatur Chanakya. And that's a very simple thing. Everybody knows about it. But unfortunately, not everybody practices it. Everybody knows it, but not everybody practices it. You know what is the third point? How to think like Chatur Chanakya? Listen to your parents and teachers. Oh, I think everybody only talks about this. Listen to your teacher, listen to your parents, listen to your grandparents. So you have to listen to all the elders. So sometimes you feel, Are, they are the real troublemakers for me. Whatever I do, they always tell no. If I have to eat an ice cream, no. If I have to go outside, no. If I have to play extra, no. If I have to use the mobile, no, 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 no. They are the real troublemakers, friends. Chatur Chanakya in the book also had parents. He also had teachers. But remember why he was intelligent? Because he understood one thing. When a teacher tells something, it is because they are concerned about you. If the parents are telling you something, because they love you. So whenever the parents give you some advice, they try to guide you. Don't take it negatively. Yes, naturally, you feel very upset about it when you want to eat something, especially it's sweet or something like that. And they come and tell, no, no, don't eat, don't eat, don't eat. And you want to have that extra chocolate or the extra cake. And they will tell you, your teeth will get spoiled, your teeth will get spoiled. But you'll still say. So sometimes you have to understand the intention of what the teachers or your parents or elders tell you. Initially, it takes a little bit of a time because naturally you don't like to listen. It's like, no, I don't want to listen. I want one more extra chocolate. I want extra this. They also tell you to study. So what I'm saying is that even if you don't agree immediately, at least don't disagree immediately. So remember this formula. Even if you don't agree immediately, please don't disagree immediately. So when you say, do this, I will not do. That is disagreement. But you say, okay, if my parents, my teachers are telling me, okay, don't do this, don't disagree immediately. Think about it. Why are they telling so? Maybe after 24 hours, go and again discuss with them. Why did you tell this? Why did you tell that? Maybe, they have a bigger intention, a nobler intention, which you cannot understand at that particular point. In the life of Chatur Chanakya, also in the book we saw that Chatur Chanakya was very intelligent. And people asked him, how did you actually become so intelligent? And the little Chatur Chanakya says, I always listen to my parents and grandparents. So when they are reading a book, I go and listen. So my father taught me everything about Artha Shastra. Remember? And because of Artha Shastra, I actually also studied about the wisdom of the great Acharya Chanakya. He used to learn multiple languages. He knew this, he knew so many things. You know how? Because he was a good student. He learned not only from the teachers in school, but he also learned from his own parents and grandparents. So my dear friends, please understand this. Education happens at three places. Okay? And we think that education happens only in schools. It is not true. Education happens in schools, that is the first point. But before that, education happens in our families. The values that our teachers say, so the parents say, that is also education. And our grandparents will tell us a lot of stories also. That is also education. So first is basically the education starts with what parents teach you at home. Second, education happens by what you learn at school. But third important thing is education also happens by what you learn from your friends. Yes, my dear friends. Your friends will actually guide you. Your friends will actually guide you. And they will be actually the ones who will educate you indirectly. So listen to friends, but use unmixedly. And sometimes you have to also guide friends. So the third principle is listen to your parents and your teachers. And my request to all the parents is that, apart from what the teachers are teaching in school, you should also take up the responsibility of teaching beyond the school. And I think we should not compare two children. This children is better than the other child, and that child is better than this child and my child. No.
It's 7 o'clock.
We have to move away from comparison to understanding that every child is unique. So children, remember, if you want to think like Chatur Chanakya, learn from parents, learn from friends, and of course, learn from your own teachers. Now the fourth point. Okay, the fourth point is very important. Don't fear anything. Don't fear. We have seen in the book also that the Himalaya became very strong Chatur Chanakya, impulsively everybody is afraid, oh, somebody big comes in. But then you use Anvikshik and say, wait, whatever happen in life, whatever may happen in life, don't fear. Just wait and think. Why am I getting troubled? What is this fear? And there is a saying that fear always is of the unknown, not of the known. Because once you know it, the fear disappears. For example, there is a curtain and the curtain is moving. And you say, oh my goodness, this is night, 12 o'clock, and the curtain is moving. Now the reality is that you started fearing, but you don't know what is behind the curtain and you don't know why the curtain is moving. Chatur Chanakya would say, okay, the curtain is moving and I may get that fear that there is somebody behind it or maybe a ghost. But Chatur Chanakya would say, wait, relax. Let me think through it. I will not allow fear to come to me. I'll wait for a time being and think, oh, let me investigate, let me understand. Because I don't know why that curtain is moving. So it's unknown to me. So you have to develop something called as scientific temperament. Logically try to understand. And then when you think logically, you say, okay, I think there is a ghost. I think there is somebody, let me investigate. And then you'll realize actually behind the curtain is the window and you have left the window open in the night. And what happened? It's rainy season. So the wind started coming in and so, oh, I was fearing something which doesn't exist. So whenever any fear comes in, don't get carried away by the fear. But that doesn't mean you become overconfident. Go and try this. So slowly first investigate. A lot of people have this funny idea, So whenever they say something, they say, oh, nothing is going to happen. And they trouble themselves. So if the snake is going around, so don't think, oh, nothing, snake will not. You be away from it. Okay. You be careful from it, but don't get feared by it. And a lot of children get feared by small insects. One cockroach comes in, everybody starts saying cockroach. Cockroach is a small little being. So when it comes, actually the cockroach is afraid of us. Instead of we being afraid of the cockroach is afraid of, because such a big guy. For the cockroach, we are all rakshas. We are all demons, such huge people, and we put a leg on them and that cockroach will die. But when a cockroach comes or an ant comes, we get fear. In life, there'll be a lot of situations where, you'll have to face fear. But our little Chatur Chanakya was smart. He said, so what if Himalaya is coming? Nothing to fear. I have my teachers with me. I have my friends with me. Why should I fear? So what if Himalaya is fatter than me, bulkier than me? I will not allow fear to come in. And my dear parents and teachers, I have one request. Please encourage all the children to develop something called as Atma Bala. You know what is the meaning of Atma Bala? Self-confidence. What will be the problem? I will not be overconfident, but I'll be confidently facing all the problems. Swami Vivekananda said this, a great spiritual giant, isn't it? So he said, be men of intelligence, of strength. We should have nerves of steel. Yes, so your body should be fit. I should say that whatever will happen, I'll be physically fit, mentally alert, intellectually strong, and spiritually evolved. Yes. So when you pray to God, Chatur Chanakya had a lot of spiritual strength. He had Atma Bala. So don't ever get into fear. That is a fourth way of how to think like Chatur Chanakya. And now the last point, the fifth point. Okay. Now this is very simple. Okay. Enjoy storytelling. Yes, I want all of you to enjoy storytelling. Please listen carefully. I'm not telling you enjoy listening to stories. Everybody likes to listen to stories. Even if you're grown up, there is a child in you who wants to listen to stories. But now how to think like Chatur Chanakya is, you should know how to tell stories. And I'm not telling you to participate in elocution competition or storytelling competition, okay? Friends, if you read something, if you come to know some new knowledge today, because of the internet and mobile and technology, you come to know so much new things happening, what's happening in developed countries, what's happening in the scientific development, what's happening in the arts field. Once you know it, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with others. That means tell stories to others. In the book Chatur Chanakya, we saw Chatur Chanakya doing that. He was very intelligent. He knew so much about Indian history. He knew the Sanskrit language. He knew about Arthashastra, Rama and Mahabharata. But in the school, he was a student. Okay, he was listening. But in the evenings, he used to tell stories to everyone. And his friends all used to sit and watch and say, oh, such a nice story, such a nice story. So, would you want to be storytellers? Yes, you should be storytellers. And let me tell you something deeper. Storytelling doesn't mean only telling stories. It is actually sharing your knowledge. Okay. So if you know something, don't just keep it to yourself. Tell it to everyone. If you know how to share knowledge, you will also become knowledgeable. If you are intelligent, share your intelligence with others. You will become more intelligent. Okay. So remember that fifth point. Be a good storyteller. That means have a conversation with others. Share it. Now I'll tell you one last story before we wind up and take up some questions, okay? Okay. So there was a farmer, and it's a real story, okay? I had heard it and then I verified it's a real story. This happened in Europe. Okay, there was a farmer. So there was a farmer, and he used to do a lot of farming. And the government, like every government, like we have the Tamil Nadu government, the Indian government. So there used to be an award by the government every year, the best farmer. So what they used to do, they used to look at what are the best quality farms that produce that you have made and everything. So do and test. And they used to, like, we have the best student award in schools. So we have the best farmer awards also. So there was one farmer who used to continuously get this particular award of being the best farmer in that particular, state every year, year after year, year after year. So it's been almost like 10 years. So it's like, some students are then always they are topping the class. So this farmer used to always get the best farmer award. So one journalist, one reporter came to him and said, I want to know the secret of your success. How did you become so intelligent? How did you become so chatur that every time you only get the award? And he said something very nice, saying that, what, I'm a farmer and I enjoy to know what is happening in the best in the world. It is called knowing the best practices. So, when I am free, I'll go onto the internet, I will study, I will go and collaborate with some research, institution which is into agricultural research. I'll talk to the scientists, agricultural scientists, and find out. And because my interest is there, I should read a lot. So I'm a farmer, but I'm a very highly educated, knowledgeable farmer. So don't think that, I don't know anything. I know the best practices. So every time I do a farming, so what used to happen is that I used to pick up, okay, the best seeds that is available because of latest research. And then the next, after the plowing, when it has to be planted, I used to buy a lot of seeds and give it to all the friends around, all the farmers around in my village, and say, okay, let us plant this, and this time we'll have better yield, better output. And then that is my secret, that I do the best research and then I apply it in my farm. The journalist asked, but I think you said the moment you find the best research, you pass it on to everyone. So yeah, I pass it on to everyone. But then you are giving away all your trade secret. You found out by doing so much study and you give it to everyone. How can that be possible? Others can become better than you. The farmer said, oh, Mr. Journalist, you don't know the nature's law. The journalist said, what is nature's law? See, I'm a farmer. I work with nature, and nature has got natural principles. Okay. So you know what? Suppose I get that best seeds, okay, out of best research, and I plant it. But around, if people are still having the bad quality seeds, you know what is going to happen? What? That bad quality seeds will affect my seeds, because we have the same water, we have the same air, the pollen grains transfer. So if I want to be the best, I should make others also the best. Remember this formula. If I want to be the best, I need to make others also the best. So this is nature's law. So the journalist started wondering, oh, a lot of people, when they do research and when they find something unique, they keep it to themselves. My dear friends, please tell it to others. So when I tell, storytelling, that means sharing your knowledge to others. Chatur Chanakya never kept any trade secret. He always shared with others. And because of that, what happened? His friend circle grew. And whenever there was a problem, everybody came to Chatur Chanakya only. They first came to Chatur Chanakya and said, Chatur Chanakya, tell me what to do, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. And he became the most loved child, both at school and also in his society. So friends, think about it. How to think like Chatur Chanakya is the way you think, the way you understand, the way you share. So let me quickly summarize it for all of you, okay? So I know you have made notes, but it's very important to refresh or revise before the class ends. So first things first, always be happy. Yes, very important. Don't become happy afterwards. Become happy now and then study. So you should always have a smile on your face. The second thing is anvikshiki. Remember that? Always think. Whenever the problem comes, don't look at the problem. Look at saying that, so what? If there is a problem, there's always a solution. One boy very nicely said, don't tell God how big the problem is. You know, sometimes a problem when we go to God and say, oh God, oh God. So don't tell God how big the problem is. Tell the problem how big God is. Tell the problem how big God. So whenever a problem comes, you say, no problem. Okay? Because the God is with me. You have faith in God, every problem can be solved. So second is anvikshiki. Think, have faith in God. Third thing is listen to your teachers and parents. Okay? They have wisdom. They're concerned about you. They love you. Sometimes you don't like them disciplining you, but it's okay. But Chatur Chanakya always believed in what the teachers and the parents said. And yes, the next one, the fourth one is basically don't fear. Let not fear enter you. Okay. And in Hindi, it is said, Dar ke aage jeet hai. So if you're frightened, you'll never become victorious. But if you overcome the fear, you'll become victorious. So never fear fear. Never fear fear. And once you go beyond fear, you actually become successful. And the fifth and the last point I told you is be a good storyteller. Whatever you have, share with others. Your knowledge, your information. So be a person who shares his wisdom with others. That is how you become successful. Okay, right? So there's 5 points you have got it. Practice any one of them or all 5 of them sincerely, and slowly, slowly your mindset will change. You will start thinking like Chatur Chanakya. And I want each one of you to become Chatur. Yes? So if Chatur is the real important word, then anybody can become Chatur using the formula of Chatur Chanakya. I hope you enjoyed this. Now go back and read Chatur Chanakya once again. Yes, it's very important. Now this time, it is not about storytelling. It's about how to think and how to become Chatur Chanakya. So read it again. And now it is all times of difficulties. Remember this: all friends can be together, and we all can aim to become what I finally call, very, very important, what I finally call the intelligent superheroes of your class. Yes, my dear friends, this is what I like, my favorite picture in the book. The little boy and Arjun together become superheroes. So be heroes and superheroes of your class. So do it well, and I'm sure you all will be successful and happy in your life. Be happy, be successful, and let all of you become role models to everyone around you. Thank you so much. Hari Om. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a wonderful session. And the way you talk with expressions, we were pulled into the story first. I would love to say that. And we were looking at few messages also from our students. And few students, Akshaya, I think so. She mentioned that after 2.5 years, she was happy to see you back.
Thank you.
Alive. And we have received few questions from our students also.
Oh, sure.
So the first one is, how did you get inspiration from Chanakya, as there were many personalities from history?
Yeah. So the first thing is that, I've been part of Chinmaya mission since my childhood. And I used to read the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Upanishads right from my childhood. Okay. So what happened is that because there was a study of Shastras or scriptures right from my childhood, so, I used to always look upon great heroes, Rama, Krishna, Bhishma, Arjuna, okay. All this was there. But, 20 years ago, I started my own business. Okay, so I started my business, and that time I realized one thing: I want to study the Indian hero who can teach me management, because management is a new field. But somebody told me that in Indian scriptures there is a person called Chanakya who knew how to manage the whole kingdom. So I studied the Kautilya Artha Shastra. I went to a school, a Gurukul in Kerala. It is called CIF, Chinmaya International Foundation. It's the birthplace of Adi Shankaracharya. I went over there, and Swami Advayananji, and Tejo Manaji, both their guidance. And then finally, I studied the 6,000 sutras of Arthashastra. And then I realized, oh my goodness, all that modern day management we are talking about is already written in Arthashastra. That's how I got entry, because number one, Chinmaya Mission, and I want to apply that in my own company, because I run a company which is into spiritual tourism. So I said, why apply the Western principles? Nothing wrong in learning the Western principles. In fact, you learn from every corner of the world. But as you're learning from globally, don't forget your local knowledge also, your traditional Indian wisdom. So that's how Chanakya happened to me. And Chanakya is not stopping only. I have written 15 books on Chanakya. In the lockdown, I wrote 2 more books. And now
nice to hear, sir.
Next few days, I'm going to complete another 2 books.
Super, sir. Okay. Since you mentioned Mahabharata, I'll put this question next. Yeah. Is diplomacy acceptable? If yes, then why was Saguni from Mahabharata condemned?
Yeah. So diplomacy is a part of human history. So, you know, even officially, every government has like a post called as a diplomat or an ambassador. Okay, now, see, diplomacy is a very important thing, because when 2 countries or kingdoms go to war, it is diplomats who actually avoid the war. In our country, we have got something called as IFS, Indian Foreign Services. So, you know, many of you who may be attempting to go to public service, there are many public services, IPS, IAS. So IFS is the highest rated, you know, because you get foreign postings. But it is not just about going to foreign nations and, you know, being there with the government expenses. You are trained to be a diplomat. Okay, that means you are actually in a foreign country working for the benefits of your country. And it requires a lot of skills, because a diplomat is representing a nation. And if he or she doesn't have those skills of diplomacy, then you can actually have nations going on to war. In fact, there is a friend of mine who is an IFS officer. He said, behind every war that you see, okay, there are hundreds of wars that have been avoided due to diplomacy. So we only know the war that has happened, right? The conflict, but there is, diplomats are trained in conflict resolution. So they know how to avoid wars. So behind every war that happened, there are 100 wars that diplomats avoid. Now coming back to your question about Shakuni. Now I would say there is a difference between strategy and manipulation. So many people don't understand the difference. And many people ask me, though Chanakya was a manipulator. I said, no, Chanakya was not a manipulator. He was actually a strategist. Now I tell you the difference between the two. Both manipulation and strategy is about achieving a result. Okay. But the thing is that when the whole result is selfish, then you are a manipulator. But when the result is for a higher objective, then you call it strategy. For example, Chanakya also used concepts like Samadhana Danda Veda, right? And enemy is a friend. So you must say he's a manipulator. So he may be using techniques, but remember, he never had any selfish objectives. So it is very, very important to understand Shakuni, especially if you study the Mahabharata, you'll understand he had a selfish agenda to destroy the whole family, you know, because he was personally hurt. So he was using the so-called strategy and using Duryodhana and all the Kaurava. So this personal from the beginning. So you should know whom to learn what from. So if you learn and become, make Shakuni a role model, then it's a dangerous thing. But if you look at Krishna also, many people say he was a manipulator, but he never had his own selfish agenda. Imagine Krishna had to break himself into 2 parts. One part, his own Narayani Sena is on the Kaurava side, and he himself on the Pandava side. And at the end of it, he lost from both sides and he got a curse. So he said, my objective is Dharma Samstarpana Arthaya. So let us not look at role models just because they were manipulators. We should go behind strategists like Chanakya. Thank you.
The next question is, what was your aim in childhood? Your childhood.
So in childhood, my aim was to join the Indian Navy. Okay. So I've been very fortunate that, in my school days itself, when I was in 7th standard, like we have NCC, there is an organization called SCC, Sea Cadet Corps, National Cadet Corps. Okay. So my parents had put me there, and during the holidays, that is Sundays, I used to get trained. So this Bombay, where I'm from, we have a sea coast, so sea is very close to us. So every Sunday for 4 years, I actually went and got trained. I used to do yachting, swimming. I used to be a sports person, swimming. And actually, when I was in 11th standard, I actually marched in Delhi during the Republic Day parade in Delhi, Rajpath. So imagine you're trained and already got the best cadet award because I had advantage of a height and a lot of things. So it was one thing in my mind saying I want to join the Indian Navy, Indian Navy, Indian Navy. But you know what? I gave the exam and everything, but unfortunately I lost it by 2 marks. Not even one or no, just by 2 marks. I was so upset. I was so good, but you have to pass the exam.
Yes,
I was feeling very sad. But life, like Abdul Kalam sir, there's a good story. He wanted to become an Air Force pilot. Some of you must have read this.
Yes.
And you should study his book, Wings of Fire. He was very upset. And then went to Himalayas, where he met Shivanandan Swami Sivananda of Divine Life Society, and said, don't worry, if you lost something, God will give you better. And Abdul Kalam went on to become the president of India. He became the missile man of India. He could not become a pilot, but all the pilots were reporting to him because he was the supreme commander of the 3 armed forces, including the Air Force.
Yeah.
So in my case also, I'm very fortunate. I could not get into Navy, but you know what is a joke? Because of Chanakya, now I teach the Navy. So all the admirals and the vice admirals are all my friends now. So I teach, I do lecture in the National Defense College. So it's all like, I go to shells, I go to a lot of things. So my dear friends, my childhood dream did not get fulfilled. Actually, my childhood dream became a reality in a much bigger way. And people tell, if you had joined the Navy, you have been only doing a small job, but now you're doing a better job.
Yes.
It's actually fulfilled. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, then the next question is, what would be the advice of Chanakya to the students in the present scenario?
The present scenario, I would describe it by 2 Sanskrit words. One is called paristhiti, and the second is called manasthiti. Okay, paristhiti is circumstances, so I think a lot of things are not under our control because, we still have not found a COVID medicine or vaccine, as we call it, so everybody, including the business communities, the education, we are all part of education. We don't know when the next academic year is starting and all that. So what should the students do? So paristhiti is not under your control, but manasthiti can be under your control, right? So I would say use the PPS model. What does the PPS model mean? Be positive. Okay, so things will be fine. Don't worry, because if you are positive, everything will happen fine. Second is be practical. So a lot of people are positive, but they're not practical. So that means you should study well during this particular time. This is our best time to actually learn a lot of new courses. Even for us teachers, a lot of us are using online platforms, webinars right now.
Yes.
So it's a very practical situation. Do something good. And third is be spiritual. You should have faith in God because this corona problem is not going to be a permanent problem. Many people also have lost jobs. I know, but it doesn't matter. Life is bigger than the problem itself. So for students, I would say, please study in this particular time. Even if there is no exams, it's fine. Don't study for exams. That's our big problem. Our education system sometimes looks like an examination system. And my parents ever request, don't pressurize them too much into marks and everything like that. So my question is that be positive, be a learner. There are so many courses available, so many things to do. In fact, my 2 little children, okay, so my son Arjun is in 2nd standard, now gone to 3rd standard, and my daughter Anvikshiki, yeah, that's her name by the way, okay, Anvikshiki is now in 4th grade, okay. So these 2 children in the lockdown, actually they studied, they have home classes and everything, but they actually did a space course from NASA. So can you believe it? Yeah, so it's online, so it's a 10-day course every day in the afternoon. So I'm saying, wow, not bad. So I'm saying that, please use this positively. And in fact, I would say the parents also encourage learning, not just studying. There's a difference between learning and studying. Studying is as per the pattern, but learning is because of self-interest. So in this COVID time, study a lot. Okay, but don't worry about the exam part of it, but study a lot, but be a good learner. Read a lot of books. That is very important. Today we can read, download a lot of things, watch good videos, get into some hobby, learn some new skill. So this is going to be very positive time. Be practical and be spiritual. Thank God, because after 2 months when everything did happen, you will be very proud about this. So don't be negative. It's a positive thing for students also. Thank you.
Sure. And the next question is, what is the key factor for your success? Smart work or hard work?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
Because only working hard may not make you successful. But only becoming smart and not working hard, you are lazy. So a lot of people think I'm smart, but they're intellectually brilliant, but they don't do any work. So I think it's very important to be hardworking and smart working. If I were to choose between the two, I say better be smart and then work hard. Because sometimes you keep working hard, but you don't know the direction. You don't have a strategy. You don't know what is the end objective. So first is to be smart think through it. Okay, so think what is your objective, make a plan. Like, when you're in 10th standard, you are very clear that my objective is to crack very good marks in the board exam. So your objective. So you plan it out. Then, saying that, that 12 months to go, then this subject is easy for me, this subject is difficult for me. Here I require my teacher's help, whatever. So planning is very important. So be smart and then work hard. A lot of people work hard and then they realize this is the wrong thing I've done. So I would say, instead of working hard and working smart, be smart and work hard. Definitely you will be successful.
Sure. And another question, how to avoid distractions and how to face failure?
Yeah. Both are wonderful questions. How to avoid distractions? So I would suggest that, this is exactly what Swami Vivekananda said. One of the very important qualities of a student is to develop concentration. So avoiding distractions means actually developing concentration, right? And there is a formula. Number one is that if you love something, okay, your concentration is very high. You will never get distracted. Have you seen, when you are actually watching a favorite movie or a cartoon channel or whatever, you're so engrossed. Even if your amma calls you, the food is ready, come to the kitchen. No. So there is no distraction. Whoever comes, you say, wait. So that means you love that particular thing. So if you want to really develop the love for anything, you have to actually understand the subject. So start developing love for that particular subject. Our problem is that we hate certain subjects, like especially mathematics. Oh my goodness. So what happens, first start loving what you're doing, and then automatically you will not get distracted. Another practical tip which I would like to suggest is that, especially when you're sitting to do something, there are 2-3 types of distractions and they are easily avoidable. The first one is called physical distractions. Suppose, for example, I'm doing this webinar, okay? Now I will look at possibility, what are the kind of a distractions that can come. Saying that, because we are all working from home now, I'm at home right now. So I say, okay, the first distraction is there could be noise, correct? So what I will do is that I will keep my door closed. I'll be in a different room. The second distraction could be, possibly my internet connection may go away. So I'll make sure there is a backup internet connection. So physical distractions. Other important thing is that, if there are certain habits which give you, for example, this is a very good distraction. So every time the mobile rings, and I see in children, especially, the moment they see a screen, their hand goes.
Yeah.
So, somewhere, we get so much into technology. It's a big distraction. Don't make technology a distraction, make it an advantage. Use technology, but let not technology use you. So I would say that, avoid all the physical distractions. The second, I would say, that meditation is very, very important.
Yeah.
So if you want to sit quietly and, Nama Japa, you also develop concentration, whichever name of God you want to take. So, these are all spiritual practices that our ancestors, rishis has left with us. So when somebody is sitting, doing one japamala or sitting quietly also, or when you're doing yogasana, you'll see that your whole mental balance, your whole body gets aligned, your mind gets aligned. So I think even if you practice some good exercises, if you practice concentration, meditation, japa, that actually helps you in developing concentration and focus, and slowly distractions will go away. The second question was about after distraction.
How to face failure.
Failures. So remember one thing, what is failure? Failure is nothing but success delayed. So if you think failure is the last point, then you can become very negative. But I always look and think that, okay, if not today, it will definitely happen. So, sometimes when we are hungry, okay, so we tell our amma, amma, I'm feeling hungry. And the amma says, wait, at least give me 10 minutes. And you say, what? Amma can't give it right now. So if you don't get it right now, you get very angry. But amma is preparing the food for you, isn't it true? And she wants to give you hot and ready and delicious. God also knows this. Okay, God also knows this, that if you want something immediately and you don't get it, you say, failure. Oh God, what kind of a God you are? You don't make me pass. But God is also preparing something nice for you and something better for you. Yes. So look at Abdul Kalam's example, which I just quoted. So he considered himself a failure. I could not get into Indian Air Force. What kind of a person, I'm useless, I'm worthless. I could not pass the exam, all those things. But then remember one thing, God gave him better chance. He became the missile man of India and the most respected president of modern times. So friends, when failure comes to you, take it with a pinch of salt. Work more hard, work more smart. Success will follow you. So remember this formula. Failure is nothing but success which is not yet come. It is just a delay that's going to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a wonderful session, and students will follow all your advices. Now, let me call my colleague, Mr. Sriram, to say the vote of thanks. Thank you, sir.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful session. So we were just totally into the session, all the colleagues which were here. And yes, actually, I have read a quote which you have, which from the net, like think solution. As you are telling to our students, like trouble, whenever you face a trouble or any hot situation, you go and think a solution. So we follow our teachers of Pushpalata, we follow a think solution for each and every problem. Thank you so much, sir. That code was very useful for us. And the session was very beautiful. And we were totally enlightened with your energy and your presence. Thank you so much, sir. And I think all your information we will follow, and our students also will follow. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Regards to everyone, Pushpalata ma'am, principal ma'am, everyone, all the teachers, parents, students, and all the admin staff. I'm part of the Pushpalata family, so don't consider me that I'm just coming to give one webinar. I'll be keeping coming to your school. I've come so many times. I look forward to see you not only digitally but physically very soon. Hari Om and all the best.
Thank you, thank you so much. Thank you, dear parents and students. We'll meet in the next reflection series. And until then, bye from Sriram and Mr. Jude signing off. Take care. Bye. And also the most important thing, kindly subscribe Pushpalata LearnEd live channel for upcoming reflection series and live videos. Thank you all.